Everybody, welcome. Happy Monday. It's Marilyn Wilson here, president of RE Technology, here with Rich Gossenbeek. He is the co-founder and chief revenue officer for Exact Contact. And for any of you that have not yet been on a coffee chat, just wanted to tell you what they're about. First of all, they're about drinking coffee or water or tea or whatever it is that you like to drink. I was just laughing about Tim Horton. If any of you are from the East Coast, you know how darn good that coffee is. We don't have it in California. So we started Coffee Chats just about a week ago with the thought of, for two reasons. One is we all know that in these times of craziness and crisis, that if we do something every day at the same time, it creates some level of regularity and certainty. And so tune in with us every day at 9 o'clock or 12 o'clock, whatever time it is in your town. And we're going to try to give you very actionable, practical tips on things that you can think about and that you can prepare yourself for, not only to help you in the short term, but in the longer term too. So, when we have a bit of a break in the action, not that any of us, a forced break in the action, what can we do to prepare ourselves for a great future? And again, to help us right now, because we all need help right now. So Rich, you're in Toronto, or Toronto, or TO, depending on who you are. What's it like in Canada? I haven't talked to anybody yet. What's happening in your market? Is it getting better, worse? What's happening?
It's pretty serious, Marilyn. I'm in the province of Ontario, and we're on full work at home. What did you call it? Settle in place, or
shelter in place? Yeah.
Shelter in place. Yeah, we have full shelter in place, and virtually only the essential services, the healthcare, grocery stores, pharmacies are open. So it's quite amazing. You can go out in our busiest downtown streets at midday and it's virtually deserted. But life goes on. Everybody's working from home. I'm here with my son and my daughter, so three of us are all competing for internet bandwidth and the Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's quite serious. We haven't seen a peak yet. Where I live, the cases are still rising each day, and our premier gave us some pretty scary forecasts the other day, just as Donald Trump did a couple of days ago, for the U.S. So we're not in as bad shape as New York or New Jersey. Praise the Lord, touch wood, but we're getting hit pretty hard.
Gotcha. So California's had about 350 deaths, I believe, so far. It looked like directionally, New York Times is doing a great job, if you haven't seen it, tracking all of this by state and even by county. And it looks like there's a bit of a glimmer of hope in California. We went shelter in place very early. We've been at it for, I think, probably longer than anyone. And it looked like for the first time ever yesterday, the incident rate started to fall off just so slightly. So let's fingers crossed that California
that's
did the
encouraging,
right thing.
for sure.
And if you look at Washington, which I think is very encouraging, they were the first ones to really go deep with this. Washington State, that is.
Yeah.
And their incidents are falling way off, so much so that their governor is now giving their respirators and ventilators to other states. So I hope that we're seeing that curve and that we're all going to see that curve soon. But the good news is there is a curve, right? So that's really encouraging that we're seeing states that went in, had the trouble early, seem to be starting to come out of it. So. And for those of us that have seniors in high school or seniors in college, they're very hoping that it will all happen before the prom and graduation and all of those things. I don't know if it will, but
yeah.
Anyway, well, so let's just jump in. What are you seeing going on with realtors right now with the reality of what's happening? What do you I know you have clients all over North America. What are you seeing?
Yeah, so the first thing we're seeing, it's kind of what we just talked about, which is an incredible number of people right across North America, in the U.S. and in Canada, are under some form of shelter at home or work from home advisory from their state governor or their province. And what we're hearing from realtors is, on one hand, it's really tough. On the other hand, they're discovering it's kind of the perfect time to work on all those business fundamentals that you never get to. There's so many things in business that you mean to get to, right? But when things are cooking, you're so busy working in your business, on your listings, your active buyers, your closings, that you have no time to work on your business. And all of a sudden, this is enforced work on your business time. There's only so much Netflix you can watch. And eventually, it's time to turn back and say, okay, what can I do that's useful for my business? And one of the things that we're hearing, now, of course, we're a real estate CRM solution. So these are the kind of conversations we're having with people. One of the things that they're focusing on, realtors right across the board, is they're saying, this is, finally, I've got the chance now. This is really sort of the perfect time to get my contact data organized, to set up some keep in touch processes that'll continue to run after, after we go through this thing, to, reach out and start to, strengthen relationships, maybe relationships I've let slide a little bit. Even to look at my website, maybe I've got a website that was the cat's meow, 10 years ago, but today it doesn't have mustard, and now it's an opportunity to, get a newer website or whatever. But the core of it really is their contact database. So we're seeing a lot of realtors, and we're feeling it in our business. We had a webinar about a week ago. Was our largest ever. We had over 1,000 registrants and over 500 attendees, like a 50% attendee rate, whereas normally our normal webinars get 35% is a good webinar, So there's real interest in this, and people just ate it up. So yeah, it's the perfect time to kind of be working on your contact database and your CRM, right? So because that is the technology that supports it all. And by doing this, the agents that take the time to invest the time, they're going to position themselves when things get better, as they surely will. They're going to position themselves to really jump back in and really have a stronger business than they've ever had, because they'll have really done some good work on the foundations of their business.
Exactly. And are you seeing people asking for more, like people that are your clients already? Are you seeing them asking for more training classes, or opting into your FAQs or web webinars? That's actually an interesting word, webinars. I'm going to use that. Any of the demos that you've got recorded and things? Is that, is it getting more traffic than it would normally with people being home, do you think?
Yeah, so that one webinar I talked about was huge, biggest ever. But we are getting just swamped with interest from our existing customer base, which is a beautiful thing. Like, it's not just about new business. Our existing customers are digging in, right? They're digging into the system, and they're coming back with questions and requests for help. So yeah, live chat's kind of gone hot, phone calls, and the other thing we're finding, I was talking to our support team last week. It's not just more calls; they're longer calls. People are actually, they have the time, to really try to go in depth versus just, I got a quick question, you gave me a quick answer on blah, blah, blah. They're going deeper. So we're having a longer calls, and I think it's fantastic. It's stretching our support team, but in a good way. It's not breaking it, but people are putting in overtime, and what's nice is when people really are digging in, it means the value they're going to get from our CRM goes way up.
Of course. Hey, we just got a question, Rich. The webinar that you referred to from last week, is it available for replay for Exact clients?
Yes, it is. It's on our website under webinars. But Marilyn, what I can do is I can send you the link, and then maybe you can push that out to the people who are asking.
Yeah, if you could do that, send it to Michael, and or have Masood do it if he's listening, and we'll post it in the box so everybody will have it if you want them to.
We'll do.
So, the idea of, obviously, we all know that CRM, I shouldn't say we all know, I think at some level, we all know that CRMs are valuable. We also know that if they're a lot of work, and a lot of people, like you say, historically have maybe bought a CRM, but haven't fully leveraged their CRM. But do you think there's any other trends that are, other than COVID-19, that are driving people toward interest in more, of these types of, effective client relationship technologies?
Yeah, there is actually. We're seeing another thing that's very interesting. Internally, we're starting to call it the big shift.
Okay.
The big shift. And what's kind of happening is, if you think about the last few years, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, certainly the last 5 years, at both the agent level, teams, even brokerages, there was this big focus on lead gen, online lead gen. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, spent a lot of money, invested heavily in lead gen oriented websites and CRMs and so on. And we even before COVID came along, we're starting to see a shift
Okay.
away from that. And I'll give you a stat in a minute that sort of supports this. But with COVID, the pace I think is accelerating, and we're seeing, particularly at the brokerage level, more and more. Like I'm getting more and more people reaching out to me via phone and email and so on, because what they're finding is that well, let me give you the $1 million stat. I got this from T360, so I'll give my attribution right there. But in 2019, realtors paid for 200 million online leads, but only 1% closed, turned into a one end of a transaction.
Right.
200 million online leads and 1% closed. So a lot of people, agent at all levels, agents, teams, brokerages are really starting to question why are we spending all this money, particularly now with COVID. Like online lead gen just doesn't even make sense. But just in general, even before COVID, they were starting to question the ROI. So we're seeing, agents, companies that are trying to be careful with their spending, but they're spending hundreds of dollars a month or thousands a month, and they're starting to question that because they're not getting the ROI. So that's the thing that's happening. It's not just, great time to work on your CRM, but we're seeing a shift back to sort of the basics, back to your database, growing your sphere, keeping in touch with past clients, important referral sources.
Right.
Basically trying to grow your business based on, as much as possible, on referrals and repeat transactions with loyal clients.
Right.
So this is the big shift, and we actually think COVID has pushed it into kind of high gears, turbocharged it, but it was already happening. We were already starting to feel the swing of the pendulum back. And when, I wasn't quite sure what was driving it until T360 shared that data point with me. 200 million leads, 1% closed. And you think of the average agent, by the way, and this is the other, I'm starting to ramble a little bit here, but it's really interesting. I think there's been a disconnect between brokerages and their agents. The online leads, it's like a siren call, is very attractive. I put money in and I get money out. It's a machine. Right. But what I think a lot of brokerages have failed to realize is that the process of working online leads, they're basically raw leads. They're strangers. They don't know, like, trust you. They're there's a certain skill set in converting, chasing, nurturing, converting online leads. It takes a certain mindset, a level of focus and discipline, an ability to take rejection that the average agent just doesn't have. I would argue 95% of agents are not that great at online lead conversion. It's one of the reasons the conversion rate is 1%. Because a lot of people are tempted to say, oh, well, that must be because the leads are all crap. I don't actually think that's true. I think a pro who's an ace at dealing, it's a sales skill, it's a special sales skill. If you're a pro, maybe you can convert 3, 4, 5%. But for the average agent, so you've got these brokerages, they built their whole sort of business model around the big corporate website, the digital marketing, pull in leads, spread them, distribute them to the agents, and then they can't figure out why 1% close. And it's because 95% of their agents don't have the skill set. They're just not wired that way. But they have the skill set. They're former teachers, they're engineers, they were plumbers, they were municipal workers, they were whatever. Being a hunter, a new business, in classic sales terminology, a hunter, and going after raw online leads is the classic hunter sort of mindset. It's a special skill. So I think brokerages are starting to look at it and say, I guess we've been trying to sort of force a round peg into a square hole, or the other way around. And why don't we get back to what's always driven real estate since the beginning of time, and what our agents really are good at, which is building a sphere of influence, building a network, building relationships, and growing their business that way. So, that's kind of the shift that we're see happening. And again, where it relates to COVID is, I think COVID has turbocharged it.
I think you're right. And you look at training programs like Ninja, for example, which I'm sure you're probably familiar with.
I love Ninja. Yeah.
Ninja is all about that whole, exactly what you just described. It's not about chasing random people that you've never heard about, or that are hiding behind a screen to ask for information. It's for people that you know, that you already have relationships with. And the CRM is really just a mechanism to make sure that you're doing that on a systematic basis, right? You have to have the right mindset of I'm a servant to the people that I know and love and want to, and that that have some alignment with me, and then I'm going to use the CRM to make sure that I'm following up with them on a systematic basis.
Yes, exactly. That's very well put, actually.
And it's a lot more than one of the things that again, now I'm rambling a little bit, but CRMs, I think, there's a lot of impression about them that they're just about like sending out marketing pieces, and certainly there is a component of that, which is great because that is one way to stay in touch with people consistently. But the real magic behind a CRM is that it creates sales discipline for the people that you know and love, right? Not for like you say, you don't have to be a hunter to call the people that you've sold homes to for the last 5 years. You just have to be a good one. And interestingly, we just did a COVID-19 survey. The #1 sales activity that people are engaging in right now is calling their past and current clients. So people are hearing exactly what you're saying, which is great.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what they should be doing.
All right, and now, what specific advice do you give to realtors right now? People are looking for tactical, like, what should I do when I get off this call right now? What suggestions do you have for realtors about how to be prepared for this time, but also once we come out of it?
So I do have a couple of very specific recommendations. Actually, you said one of them already, which is this is a great opportunity, not just to work on your database from a sort of, strategic or admin point of view, but also just to get personal. And it's a great opportunity to call people or send them a text or send some handwritten notes. What a great opportunity to actually send some handwritten notes to past clients and make it personal. Like, hi, Marilyn, just, blah, blah, whatever intro you want about COVID-19 and so on. But I was reflecting on what a great relationship we've had. I've really appreciated your support over the past, 6 years, 15 years, whatever it's been. Hope you and Bob are still enjoying 127 Towering Oaks Crescent. I really enjoyed working with you on that purchase, whatever. And just send a little handwritten note that shows gratitude, sort of reminds them of the great job you did for them as a realtor, X years ago. So calls, texts, handwritten notes, perfect time to do all these things. Number 2, stay positive. It's easy to find yourself watching, Fox News or CNN all day. Or all the websites with the stats that update every few hours. And we need to be in tune with what's going on, but that just gets depressing. So I would really work on your mental health and your physical health, for that matter. So it's a great opportunity to just read motivational stuff or watch some motivational channels on YouTube. I'm starting to discover them myself because I never have time for this stuff. And it's really cool. I found one all about goals and goal setting, and watched some Navy SEAL admiral tell me how important it was to make my bed every morning.
Oh, that's a great video. I have that one. That's an awesome one.
It was awesome.
There's another great one called Mind Shift. I'm going to put that in here too. That's a great one.
That's a great one to share with people. Yeah. So that's sort of recommendation number 2. And 2B. So 2A is work on your mental health. 2B is working your physical health. And again, this is just something I'm doing myself. As much as working from home has its challenges, I'm kind of loving the fact that anytime I want, like probably when this little coffee chat is over, Marilyn, I'm throwing on my shoes. I'm going for a 10-minute walk. Now, in theory, I could do that at the office too. I just don't. But somehow working from my home is just that much easier. And if I was a younger type, I might drop down and do 25 push-ups every couple hours. There's just things you can do. I'm just joking around. But let's get back to business. So the other advice I would give is this. Take this opportunity to work on your business. Whatever's been on that list of to-dos, that it just month after month it stays. It never falls. You never get to it. You never, it's important. Year after year, it's there. Whatever's key to you, work on your business. It's just such an amazing opportunity that we normally don't have. And specifically, if you don't have a CRM, a good real estate CRM, go get one. This is the time. And the CRMs these days are easier to use than ever. They have more automation than ever, so they are like your personal assistant. We have a feature called like Keep in Touch Coach. It tells you every day who you need to call based on their status in your pipeline, and so on. And the marketing automation does help. Once you get busy again, you'll be glad to have keep in touch call reminders. You'll be glad to have an automated, e-card going out on people's move-in anniversaries or birthdays without having to do anything. You'll be glad to have an automated e-newsletter goes out with your branding and sort of touches everyone in your database and reminds them that you're kind of the local authority on all things home and real estate related. So if you don't have a CRM, get one. Now's the time. If you do have one, but you hate it, then get rid of it. Try something different. Another opportunity.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number one that's my number 3 recommendation is CRM and spend some time in your contact data.
And not that Rich is going to do this, but if anybody is looking to try ExactContact, I'm sure there's free offers from others as well. But right now, Rich is offering a 7-day free trial. If you look into the chat box, the link there, you type in exactcontact.com/jumpstart70. And why 70? That's an interesting number. Usually it's 30, 60, 90. Why 70? Is there some magic behind that number?
There is. Our standard free trial is 35 days. So we've just always been a little different. So we doubled it. 35 days became 70 days. And I like the sound of 70. It's just a great number. I like 7. So yeah, it's doubling our normal free trial. And of course, for rookies, anybody who's in their first year as a licensed, real estate sales professional, we have to give rookies 6 months free.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was thinking COVID, it's going to be hard on everybody, but if you're a rookie, if you left your previous career, whatever you were doing, you left being a teacher or government, whatever, and you got into real estate and now this hits, that's got to be especially difficult because you haven't had a chance to really build a business yet. So we're giving 6 months to rookies. So that's kind of what we're trying to do to help people out.
I appreciate that.
Course,
people can use that.
Yeah, and talking about help, so one of the things that we do where has always kind of differentiated us, but sort of even more so in these times, everybody, whether you're taking advantage of our Jumpstart 70 free trial or you're a rookie, you get our one-on-one personalized concierge setup service where we help you get up and running. So you're not trying to sort of climb the learning hump on your own. We hold your hand through it, and then you get even once you're past sort of the concierge setup stage, it's still unlimited support, unlimited phone support, also email, live chat, tutorial videos, and so on. So you're not
so important. Yeah, and for especially for setup, if most agents that are on the call today, if they don't have a CRM, and even if they do, they may still have this problem. I know I do. We have contacts all over the place. We have them on our phone. We have them on our desktop. We have them in our CRM. We have them all over the place. Do you help them as part of that one-on-one to get them into one place so they can they can take advantage of all the contacts they've made wherever they've actually put them in? Sticky notes, importantly too. There's sticky notes around most people's offices.
So absolutely, we do help. In fact, it's one of the big sort of benefits we saw. One of the core benefits is, for many agents, their contact data is chaos. It's like you said, it's on sticky notes, it's in an Excel spreadsheet, some's in Outlook, other stuff stuck in their website, where the website lead capture, but it never gets out of there. So yeah, we help them pull all that together and consolidate it. We can't do their sticky notes for them, so they have to get into electronic form somehow. Like a CSV. If it's trapped, let's say it's trapped in their MLS and they're not techie and they don't know how to get it out, we'll do a screen share. They'll log into their MLS and we'll figure out how to export that data.
That's awesome.
So we do all that, but I just want to point out that actually is step 1 in our concierge setup service. Traditionally for most CRMs, that's kind of where the setup help begins and ends. But we go way further. So once we get your data uploaded, we'll help you create a branded email header so all your marketing has your branding. We'll help you set up your monthly newsletter so it goes out automatically. We'll set up your keep in touch coach, your automated lead capture and nurturing, your automated birthday and move-in anniversary reminders and e-cards. Even if you want to take advantage of our agent websites, we'll help you create one of our websites. And we just about 2 weeks ago launched beautiful new website themes, and they are stunning. So anybody who's got an oldie moldy website, check out our websites, and we even have an automated social media marketing service that will help the agent set up. So this setup is way beyond just uploading the data. The goal is simple. Provided the agent can engage with someone on our support team and spend a bit of time with us, within literally an hour or two or next day, you're up, running, and the system is working for you like a personal assistant, and you're getting real business, real value in your business. That's kind of what we try and do. It's get people seeing value almost right away.
Perfect. So that, I mean, the whole idea of coffee chats is try to do something right now. So someone could click on that link and they could, within the next day or two, could have a lot of work done toward organizing themselves. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Here's one from Letitia. Any suggestions for farming during these new rules for FSBOs, et cetera? I'd like to be respectful and sensitive, but I'd also like to keep the prospecting going. What would you suggest for trying to go after that type of farming activity right now?
That's a good question. We're not really CRM is typically not a geographic farming tool.
Right.
It's more a database referral and repeat marketing sort of tool. So, that said, within our system, we have actually a lead nurture campaign specifically for sale by owners, but that implies you've got a specific FSBO prospect. Whereas I think this person's talking about, I want to do geographic farming into this area of 1,200 people. How do I do it? And any good CRM will give you the ability to create mass emails, do mass texting, video email. So you can create your communications, but most CRMs aren't going to do postcards for 1,200 people. Like geographic farming is usually unaddressed communications. So then that's why CRM is not a great fit. CRM starts with the idea that you have contacts in your database. Geographic farming traditionally means it's marketing reaching out to people where you don't have their contact data.
Exactly.
So we have a sister, Marilyn, I'll make one last comment on that. We have a sister company that does specifically have a whole system for your geographic farming. Actually, I can tell you right now who it is. It's morrismarketinggroup.com, and they have a geographic farming system with postcards and print marketing. So Morris Marketing Group.
morrismarketinggroup.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that's it.
Yeah, one other suggestion I would have that I've seen work, Letitia, is that one of the things that I'm hearing from my friends, and I'm sure all of us are, is especially because 2008's last big economic disaster was directly related to real estate. People are worried that the value of their homes are going to go down, or that somehow if I'm in New York State, somehow now that because they've had so much COVID, is my value going to be worse because of that? There's just fear and uncertainty everywhere. Let's face it, right? We're all worried about everything. Every 1 minute we feel great, the next minute we're worried, next minute we want to lay in bed and be depressed, next minute we want to binge watch something, next minute we want to eat an Oreo, right? It's just how it works right now. But things like if you have access through your MLS, and many of them offer this, which is free. There's a product called Realtors Property Resource, or RPR.
Yes.
That's a great tool, and that's another one. While you've got time, set this up where you can put your own branding in it, and you can reach out and say, "Are you worried about the value of your home right now? Call me or email me or text me." And you literally, with only knowing the subject property, can push out a 30-page report to them, showing them what's going on in the market right now. Because the truth is, from what I'm seeing at least, I don't think values really are falling. If anything, and some markets are holding. If anything, they might be even increasing because there's still lack of inventory in a lot of markets. In fact, it's almost worse because some people have, put their listings on hold or withdrawn them for the short term. So things like that, if you can reinforce to somebody about your real estate expertise. The other thing that I've heard a lot of is just not even that fancy, is just, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. Is there anything I can do to help you? Can I go to the grocery store for you? Or even just writing notes of encouragement. I'm actually working with that through our church right now, where they'll send us 5 names of somebody that's just having a particularly bad time, and we just write them a note. Because if you don't want to be out and you don't want to create any risk for yourself or others, there's things you can do right from your home to help somebody feel better. Another thing that just happened in our neighborhood, I'm sure we're not the only, the school teachers worked with the police, and the police gave the teachers a police escort around the town, and they had signs and posters all over their cars, love you, miss you, whatever. And they stopped by each of their kids' houses and waved at them. It was really
nice.
cute. So there's lots of things you can do that are just human, that aren't necessarily going to convert. And I do think that's one thing, to your point about being sensitive, Letitia, is, you don't want to be going for the jugular right now. You don't want to be going for the sale right now. You just want to be there as a resource. And if someone says, hey, what's happening? I'm worried. in whatever way they're worried, if you can help them or point them to a resource, and some of it can be all these financial resources now, point them to the SBA and say, here's how to get the loans, or here's where your local unemployment office is and how to apply for your benefits. It can be a variety of different things, but to me, I would say the more human, the better, and or the more if whatever they're worried about, help them with that. Again, it's
Very
not
good
going to be,
advice.
it's not ABC, it's going to happen tomorrow, but it's important.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rich, we're just heading up on the 30 minutes hour. I'm going to come back to your question, George, in just one second, but what should brokers be doing right now? Because now not only it's very difficult, I think, to be a leader when you're uncertain, and yet you have to be the rock for all of your agents, right? What's your advice to brokers right now? What can they be doing to work on their business, but also help their agents, not get scared or uncomfortable at this point?
Sure. It's a good question. And because we are coming up hard on the half hour, I'm going to, there's all sorts of things that brokers can and should be doing that are sort of outside of my wheelhouse. So I'm going to really focus in on, as a CRM company, what are some of the kind of cool things. So I would just say this, it's a great opportunity to show leadership. Your agents right now are looking for leadership. And again, that leadership can come in from 100 different directions, can encompass 100 different things. But one way you can show leadership to your agents, if you believe that, it's important for agents to manage their contact data, to stay in touch with people, to build relationships. If you believe that's true, and you believe in the importance of referrals and repeat transactions, then one thing that you can do is take a stance on CRM and decide to select a CRM partner, either get a site like a license at the corporate level, and then you can push it out to everybody, or just pick a preferred CRM partner so that you can say to people, hey, everyone here at ABC Realty, we recommend this CRM, and this is why we've picked it. So that's what I would say is, if you've never taken a position, show some leadership. And the other thing that's really cool about this, in some ways, it's an ideal time because you have their attention like you've never had it before. Think of the average hot spring market. You don't have their attention. It's very hard to get their attention. They're busy. They're busy making money. But right now, if you do decide, and these are a lot of conversations I'm having right now with brokers, that it's time to pick a CRM dance partner for your brokerage, and you want to now roll it out and do webinars and training, you've got your agent's attention like never before for exactly this sort of thing. So one of the things we're doing to help brokers to make this move, because again, it's not just agents that are struggling right now. Things are tough at the brokerage level also. Everything flows uphill and downhill.
Absolutely.
One of the couple things we've done is we are sharpening our pencil in a big way. We're introducing sort of the ability for a broker to get started with our software, and we'll either defer or introduce the license fee in a stair-step model instead of just usually with a site license. You go live on a certain day and the fee is due, the monthly fee. But we're doing a stair-step, so we'll phase it in over a number of months to help them out. And the other big thing is we are waiving virtually all our normal sort of setup fees that would be associated with setting up a partnership. So those are what we're trying to do to help brokers to make the move.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And for brokers that are on the call, as Rich talked about this sort of the shift. I think the other shift is that we've had digital marketing opportunities, we've had digital tools, we've had ways to do virtual business in our business for a long, long time, right? We've had it for 10, 15 years. And yet, if I talk to a broker or an MLS or an associate, anybody that offers technology to a group of realtors, I always hear frustration that, I try to get people to pay attention to it and they won't. So exactly what Rich is saying, if you've got other tools, it's a great time to show leadership. I've also heard from a couple of our most successful, but also strongest leader brokerage clients. What they're doing is they're having 8 o'clock in the morning huddles. So they're kind of like a coffee chat, kind of like what we're doing, where they get on the phone, and he invites everybody to do that. Not so much for accountability, but I think also for that regularity and that belief that
that's a great idea.
That we're all in this together. I am here to support you. tell me what you're challenged with, share some good news. That's always helpful too. That, I talk to a lot of agents that their business it's down, but it's not out. It's still going, right? I think there's a perception that it's stepped dead in its tracks, and that's really not true. I talked to one woman that's had 3 closings last week.
Wow.
I mean, she might have had, normally would have had 9, but she still had 3. I mean, she's not, it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than I think the perception is. So that kind of idea of creating a regular time for you to just do exactly what we're doing now, just jump on the call, even if it's for 10 minutes, just to say, hey, I'm with you, I'm here, you're not alone, it's going to be okay. Does anybody have any family concerns? All the things are just, these video chat things are absolutely critical right now, right? Just like, even though Rich and I are not really seeing each other, we're seeing each other, right? And you're seeing
absolutely.
us. It's not perfect, but at least it's like, okay, I'm not alone. So it's definitely not a time to leave your agents alone. And I don't mean bug them, but make sure they know you're there for them. That's really, really important. And same advice that Rich had, work on your business, in your business. So we're getting lots of calls at Wave Group on our other company of like, can you help me look at all the technology I have right now? What makes sense? What doesn't? What's working for me? What's paying back? What isn't? Where's the ROI? What am I missing? What are the things I should be doing right now? Well, I do have the attention of my agents to help them be more successful for the short term and the long term. So I think it depends on where you are in the process too. Like, we've been at this now for 3 weeks in California. So we sort of hit a new norm, if you will. And so we're getting to the place where we're getting proactive. Everybody's in a different place, and every family's in a different place. So sometimes it's easier to to stay focused on this kind of stuff. But as leaders, I think you kind of have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and at least for some period of time, be a calming force for everyone else around you. It's really, really important. Okay. All right, we're at 9:37. Let's see. We had a question from George Espinosa asking us about the 7-day free trial. Let me read that again. It's go to Exact Contact, ixactcontact.com/jumpstart70. And Rich, would it be okay if anybody wants to talk to you directly? Could you share your email address with them, or are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You can share my email address. You have it, Marilyn.
Okay. Actually, I don't know it off the top of my head. Can you just say it out loud?
Oh, it's so long.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Sorry. The best way to reach me without my long last name, info at exactcontact.com.
Okay, info at ixactcontact.com.
You got it.
George, yes, there will be there is training. There will be training. As you heard, there's one-on-one training if you want to get on board. So if you want to give it a shot, this is the time, because it does take time to get there you go. Thank you. It's in the chat now, rich.gossenbeek@exactcontact.com if you want that. It does take time to get up and running with a CRM. So this is a perfect time while you've got a little time to breathe to try to get yourself into that position. I can tell you that pretty much every top producing agent I speak with who ultimately becomes a team because they can't keep up with their business has one of their secrets is that they've got a CRM, not necessarily just Exact. There's a lot of them. By the way, if you're looking to do research on CRMs, go to retechnology.com, and up at the top you'll see there's a little icon that's called Client Relationship Management. Click on that, and that'll show you not only Exact but many others as well. So if you want to do your homework, I think some of you may come back to Exact. It's one of my favorites personally, but it's up to you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Yeah, it's up to you, because there's many good ones out there. So yeah, let's see if we have any other questions. I think that's it. So, all right. Well, Rich, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today. This will be available via recording. We're going to be sending it out to all of you that attended today and those that registered. So thank you very much for being part of Coffee Chats. Let me quickly show you the topic for tomorrow. Actually, let's see if I can put it on here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be talking in a different context with Jeremy Crawford. He's the CEO of First MLS or FMLS in Atlanta, Georgia. And one of the things we're trying to do with Coffee Chats is bring you as many different types of free resources or affordable resources as we can. He's going to be talking to us tomorrow about the ways you can tap into your MLS to get lots of different ways that they can help you succeed in the virtual world as well. So
Cool.
thanks to everybody for attending. Thank you so much, Rich, for jumping on this call from your dining room.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, Marilyn. And thank you to everyone else there as well. You know, stay safe and stay healthy, and we will all get through this.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see many of you tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Bring your coffee, bring your water, bring your tea, bring your scotch if you need to, whatever you need. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.